Dubai, UAE. March 14th, 2023. 4:12 a.m. The city never truly slept, but in the Al Mansour family's sprawling Jumeirah villa, the night felt heavier than usual. Marble floors gleamed under low chandelier light. Outside, the Burj Khalifa pierced the sky like a silent accusation. Inside, Sheikh Farhad Al Mansour sat alone in his study, a crystal tumbler of untouched single malt in one hand, a sealed white envelope in the other. The envelope bore the stamp of a discreet Swiss laboratory, the kind that catered to billionaires who couldn't afford rumors. Farhad had waited 6 years for this moment. 6 years of wondering why his 3 daughters, Aisha, 5, Layla, 3, and little Noor, just turned 1, had his brother's sharp jawline, Faisal's dark, hooded eyes, but never quite his own easy smile. He tore it open. Paternity probability, 0%. No match to Farhad bin Rashid Al Mansour. But below, the secondary analysis, the one he'd quietly requested, hit like a blade. Familial match, 50%. Closest relative, Faisal bin Rashid Al Mansour, full sibling. The glass slipped from his fingers and shattered on the marble. The sound echoed like gunfire in the empty house. Farhad was 38, heir to a real estate empire worth billions, known for his calm control in boardrooms and his ruthless protection of family honor. Faisal, his younger brother by 4 years, had always lived in his shadow. Charming, reckless, the one who partied on yachts while Farhad built legacies. They shared everything: the family name, the villa wing, the same blood, and, apparently, the same children. Farhad's mind raced back to the beginning. Carmela Reyes arrived in Dubai in 2016, 24 years old, from a small barangay in Cebu, Philippines. She came on a tourist visa that quickly turned into something else. Farhad met her at a private event in Burj Al Arab. She was working as a hostess, graceful, soft-spoken, her English accented but warm. He was struck by her quiet dignity amid the flash and excess. He proposed within months, not out of wild passion, but calculation. Farhad needed a wife who wouldn't challenge his world, who would give him heirs without drama. Carmela's family was poor, her father ill, siblings in school. A marriage contract promised them security, a house in Cebu, monthly allowances, education funds. In return, she would be discreet, loyal, traditional. The wedding was small, private, Islamic rite followed by a quiet dinner. No lavish affair. Farhad didn't want attention. Carmela wore white lace, smiled for photos, and moved into the villa's east wing. Faisal was there that night, best man, laughing, toasting. He clapped Farhad on the back. "Brother, you've chosen well. She's special." Aisha was born 10 months later. Farhad was away on business in London. Faisal stayed behind, to help the household. When Farhad returned, he held his daughter and felt a strange disconnect. Her eyes were too knowing, too much like Faisal's. He dismissed it. Babies change. Layla followed 2 years later. Same eyes, same nose. Farhad began traveling more, burying doubts in work. Nur came unexpectedly in 2022. By then, Carmela had withdrawn, quiet, almost ghostly in the vast house. She rarely left the villa except for doctor visits. Farhad assumed postpartum depression. He hired Filipino nannies to make her comfortable. He never suspected the truth, until a routine medical check for Noor flagged something odd in blood work. A specialist suggested full genetic profiling for future health risks. Farhad agreed, and added the paternity test on impulse. Now the truth stared back at him in black and white. He stormed to the east wing. Carmela was awake, sitting on the balcony overlooking the pool, staring at the dark water. The girls slept in their rooms down the hall. She didn't flinch when he entered. "You knew," he said, voice low, lethal. Carmela turned. Her face was pale, eyes red from crying or lack of sleep. "I didn't want this." "Whose idea was it?" Farhad demanded. "His or yours?" She looked away. It wasn't planned. Not at first. Faisal had been the one to greet her when she arrived, confused and jet-lagged. He showed her the house, explained the rules. Farhad was away often. Faisal was always there, bringing gifts for her family, listening when she cried about missing home. One night, after too much wine, loneliness turned to comfort. It happened again and again. When she discovered the first pregnancy, panic set in. Faisal promised to protect her. Farhad will never know. The child will be his legally. You'll be safe. Your family will be safe. Carmela had no passport. Farhad held it for safekeeping. No independent bank account. No way out. Faisal controlled the household staff, the drivers. She was trapped between two brothers, one absent, one ever-present. She stayed silent, raised the girls as Farhad's, prayed the resemblance would fade. It never did. Farhad's rage was cold, precise. He didn't shout. He called Faisal. The younger brother arrived within 20 minutes, still in nightclub clothes, cologne sharp. He saw the envelope on the table and froze. "Brother." "Don't," Farhad said. "Sit." Faisal sat. Sweat beaded on his forehead despite the AC. Farhad laid out the report. Faisal's face drained of color. "I never meant. You never meant to father my children? Or never meant for me to find out?" Faisal glanced at Carmela. She wouldn't meet his eyes. Farhad stood. "You will leave Dubai? Tonight. New identity, new accounts. Disappear. If you ever contact them again, I will bury you." Faisal laughed bitterly. "You think it's that easy? Those girls are mine too." Farhad's hand moved like lightning. A single slap that echoed. Faisal staggered. "They're legally mine, and you will sign whatever I put in front of you." Faisal looked at Carmela. Tell him you want it." Carmela stood. Her voice was steady for the first time. "I wanted to survive. You both used me. One for heirs. One for whatever this was. I stayed for my children. Not for either of you." Farhad turned to her. "You think you walk away clean?" "I don't," she whispered. "But I'm done lying." She moved toward the girls' rooms. Farhad blocked her. "You're not taking them. They're not yours," she said softly. "Not by blood." Farhad's phone buzzed. Security. Faisal had tried to leave. They held him at the gate. Farhad made a call. Private lawyers. A family meeting at dawn. Reputation management. The girls would remain Al Mansour heirs. Carmela would be handled. But Carmela had prepared. Unbeknownst to both brothers, she'd been speaking, quietly, through encrypted apps, to the Philippine embassy. A sympathetic OFW counselor. A human rights lawyer. Evidence. Messages, photos, medical records showing coercion and control. At 5:47 a.m., as the first call to prayer echoed over the city, Carmela slipped out the service entrance. A black embassy SUV waited 2 streets away. Inside, diplomatic plates, immunity. She left a note on the kitchen island. To Farhad and Faisal. "The girls deserve truth, not secrets. I take nothing but my conscience. Don't look for me." Carmela. By sunrise, she was inside the Philippine embassy compound, sovereign territory. Safe. Farhad arrived minutes later, furious. Security couldn't breach. Diplomats met him at the gate. "Your wife sought asylum," the ambassador said calmly. "Allegations of coercion, false imprisonment, emotional abuse. We are investigating." Farhad's empire, built on control, cracked. Faisal vanished that afternoon. Rumors said Switzerland. Others said worse. The family hushed it. The girls, raised in the villa by nannies, told Mama went home to rest. They asked for her less each month. Carmela, from Manila, fought for custody through international courts. It dragged on years. Money versus morality. Power versus persistence. In 2025, a quiet settlement. The girls would visit her summers in Cebu. Farhad kept legal guardianship. Faisal remained erased. But the shock lingered. A sheikh, undone not by enemies, but by his own blood. A Filipino wife, who walked out of a golden cage carrying only scars and her children's future. And 2 brothers, bound forever by betrayal. The desert wind erased footprints, but not truths. In Dubai, some secrets die, others scar forever.